So this week we're going to do something different on the Boss Garage. We're going to show you how to build a garage. Now, whatever week this airs, we're going to release one video every day to show the progress of our garage build. We're going to start right at the beginning from how to get your permits and whatever, and this is in our area in Ontario, Canada. Your area might be different, but I'm going to do the drawings that we submit to the town when we get our permit back. So a little bit about myself. I was actually in construction when I was 14 as just a laborer. I walked into an apprenticeship as a heavy equipment mechanic when I was 16. I quit when I was 24 and started my own construction business. I wanted to go become self-employed, but I didn't have enough cash to put up a big shop and pay for all the tools and that. So I bought a truck and trailer and started a construction company. I knew I wanted to build my own house. So I figured if I could get my material costs down, I could be able to build my house cheaper. So in the meantime of the construction company, I slowly worked back to mechanics again. I got busy in the winter, and I do enjoy being home, so I'm a mechanic at home now. But in the process, I did put up about 2 dozen barns. I built a couple houses, decks, roofs, a little bit of everything, renovations and stuff. Did a lot of concrete work. So for this sake, my biggest building was 15,000 square feet and my smallest one was 300 square feet. So for this purpose, we're gonna build a barn for my brother. Nothing like working for free for family, but he's gonna put up a 28 by 38 square foot building. So here in Canada, we get plus 35 degrees Celsius weather and we get minus 35 degree Celsius, which is an extreme difference of 70 degrees. So we have to go below the frost line because as the water in the ground freezes, it expands and the frost actually comes up. We have to go 4 foot, which is below the frost line, so that the building doesn't shift. So your door is still closed and open properly in the winter. So there's 3 main different types of buildings. There's pole barn, which use anywhere from 6x6 to 8x8s or 6x8 posts. There's also a floating slab, which essentially is just a post. Floating slab is a heavy concrete floor with a pile of rebar in it with your building put on top, and that's able to move up and down with the frost and you don't notice. There's a pile of concrete and rebar in that floor system, which makes that expensive, and then we also have just a studded wall on top of concrete. So that would be a 2 foot footing with a concrete wall on top and then studded on top of that with your grade being there. So the cheapest one is pole barn, which is what we're going to be doing for my brother. So his is going to be a 28 by 38 foot by 12 feet high. So we're going to start at the beginning by going over what you need to apply for your permit. Now you can't, if you're in a residential area, you can't just put up a monster garage in your backyard. You're going to block the neighbor's sun. So there's restrictions to sizes, and they will very quickly let you know what those restrictions are. This is more in the country, so the size isn't an issue neighbor-wise, but he is on a wetland, so he has to deal with a couple different organizations like the Conservation Authority, the Wetlands Authority, and the town itself for the permit. So all 3 people have to say it's okay. And also the highway, we're on Highway 3, so the highway has to give its permission in case they want to expand the highway. They don't want you building a barn 10 feet off the road. So for submitting the plans, you pick up an application and you fill all that information in, and then they want to know exactly what you're building. So what we're building is a 28 by 38 foot pole barn. And just a quick bird's eye view is good enough for them. You want to draw posts on 8 foot center. Now 38 doesn't end up equally on 8 feet. That's okay. Last one will be 6. I don't even know if this is the right amount of poles, but they want to know that it's 6x6 posts on 8 foot on center. 12 foot overhead garage door at the front, and they want to know windows and doors. Just one man door there. That's it, done. That's all they need to know for bird's eye. Now they also want to know where on the property you're drawing it, so you can draw a bird's eye view of your property with a rough, with some measurements of where your property ends, how far away, because you need to be able to. I think ours is 10 feet from the side. They also want to see structural view. So what we're doing is a 2-foot hole, 4 feet in the ground, with 2 feet of concrete in the bottom of it. And that's so that the post doesn't settle. We're gonna put a 16-foot post on top of that to get a 12-foot building. And we're actually 18 feet, but we have to accommodate for drilling a hole too low or too high. You never know what you're gonna run into. So 2 feet of concrete in the bottom. To keep the building from flying away with uplift. Now we don't have to worry about that so much because we only have one door, but if you have 2 doors at opposing ends of the building, the wind goes through, and especially on your bearing walls, it acts like an airplane wing and it wants to take off. So to prevent the uplift, we're going to nail a 2x6 pressure treated board 16 inches long on the bottom of the post and then backfill with dirt. So grade is about here, and this is all under the ground. Now, for heavier buildings, they used to make us put 5/8 rebar, bend it into a C, and then drill rebar through the post, and then do a double pour. Now, if I draw that, it's gonna cost an extra truckload of concrete, and they'll definitely say that's fine, but we're gonna draw it without that. And if they want us to do it, they'll let us know. If we can get away with it, we probably saved about 800 bucks worth of a minimum load of concrete. And yes, everything is that expensive here in Canada. Now, we are gonna do strapping in between the posts on 2x6. And a cheaper way to do it initially is to put 2x4 strapping on the outside of the post. But I like the 2x6 in between for 2 main reasons. Now it's strapped on the inside of the building and on the outside, so if he's gonna clad it on the inside, he's already got the boards to nail his steel to or screw his steel to. It also gives a nice shelf for the insulation to sit on, and the mice can't run in between the posts. If there's a 2x4 on the outside, it actually has a little pathway all the way around the outside of the building for the mice to run. So this is a much nicer setup. We're gonna go with 2x10 headers at the top, and only 2 of them. And I'm gonna cut them into the post with a chainsaw. That way they're sitting on the post. There's different ways to do it. You can get a big circular saw, you can make a whole bunch of slits and hit it with a hammer, but I'm pretty good with a saw, and that's how I've always done it. So 2x10 headers. We're gonna do 29 gauge steel on the outside, and then our trusses. Now our trusses, I order the trusses and they come pre-engineered, so you don't have to worry about that, but they do need the drawings for the trusses. And then we're gonna do 2x4 strapping on the roof, and then 29 gauge roof steel. Now, I'm not gonna draw V-braces in. I think they're a joke. We're gonna cut a giant V-brace into each corner, top to bottom, which is much stronger than these little V-brace or Y-braces, sorry. They might make us put them in, we'll do that, but if we don't have to, it probably saves a couple hours. We're gonna backfill the inside with 3/4 clear for now, and then let that settle or pack it, and he can pour a floor later if he wants. So the town needs this, that's all they need. And along with your bird's eye view, and we can start the process for the permits. As soon as we have the permits, we'll order our materials. We want all materials on site before we start, which will make the job go much smoother and quicker. I like buildings once in a while. I do miss it a little bit because you can stand back at the end of the day and see exactly what you've done. Whereas mechanics and the body work and that, you sand all day and you stand back, it's like, really, what did I do? So it's good to get out of the shop again. I wouldn't really do much construction other than for family. It'll be a couple months from when this video is made, when we start the building, but when we start the building, instead of doing 3 videos that Sunday, we're gonna do 1 video each day to show what we did that day. And let us know what you guys think about that, whether you guys like 3 videos on Sundays or if you want us to spread them out, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday type of thing. We can do a project Sunday and other videos throughout the week. And like I said before, you never know what you're gonna get. So this week we're gonna do a garage build, start to finish, and see if we can get it done. And I should hoping for 5 days, probably be 6 or 7. But yeah, here we go. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you love the channel, consider heading over to Patreon. There's a lot of stuff happening there to help support the channel. And remember, if you're not filthy, you're not rich.